Everyone surviving so far. No, they are not getting hit.
Look, it goes forward. What a move! That's some late braking, and that's what you want to see. Lots of pressure put on the McLaren driver, but he's dealing with it like a boss.
Hello and welcome guys to the stream. Hope everyone is doing well. Just finishing off driver briefing. and on to, there we go, that's driver briefing finished. Okay, so today we've got Nürburgring in the wet for round 1 of Simzone. Just seen one of the quick Ferrari guys using completely different engine map and brake bias settings to me. So going to try that out just now and see if it's quicker.
Car on the right.
There should be one I sent you for these conditions.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Don't know what. Look at the numbers. 1924 is there. Oh, well, it'll be the V2. Yeah. I sent you a race one. That's the most recent setup, the race one. Although I'd just seen one of the quick Ferrari drivers using different engine map, TC and ABS, so I'm just testing to see if that's quicker just now. Because my pace seems quite a bit off the top guys. But the quickest Ferrari is a second off the quickest Porsche and BMW. So I looked at his ABS and traction control settings and they're quite different. So I'm trying them now. He had TC on 5, ABS on 3, engine map 6 and brake bias 53, which is quite different to mine. So I'm just trying it now. So yeah, let's see if these settings are any better for us. Apparently some of the higher engine maps have higher engine braking, I heard, but I'm not sure what car that's in. I saw it for the Lamborghini, but I didn't realise Porsche, Ferraris may be the same, so I'm just testing it just now. I'm not sure. After the update, my pace in the wet is much slower. My pace in the dry isn't that much slower than it was, like compared to the top guys. But my pace in the wet is quite a bit slower. I've just spun. I can't really test if these settings are quicker because it's now wet conditions. It was damp when I set this lap, so I don't actually know if this is quicker or not. It does feel a little bit better though. I might try it for the qualifying. The braking feels better. Yeah, it feels like it anyway. I don't know, I think it might be to do with the engine map as well. Because I tried ABS on 1 and engine map 6 and that worked. I wasn't locking up with ABS 1, which is weird. Well, right now I'm actually up on the delta slightly over my damp lap time in the first sector. I don't lose anything on the straight, I don't think, anyway, on the delta. Nothing noticeable anyway.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
The only time I'm losing is on, really from the corner exit, because it's nice. I'm going to use the setup I sent you for quali, I think. Because it's now a wet track and not a damp track, I can't actually test if this is quicker or not. But definitely don't lose any time on the straight. So maybe it is quicker. It's hard to tell. Well, you've got a banker lap in the wet conditions now, don't you? So you could try it and see if it's quicker if you want. TC5, ABS 3, brake bias 53, and engine map 6. ABS 3, brake bias 53, and engine map 6. So let's see what quali's going to be like, guys, because pace in practice isn't great so far. Definitely slower in the wet after the update. In the dry, my pace is a little bit slower compared to the top guys in the dry, but it's not massive. It's like a couple tenths. At Misano, for example, I think I'm hardly anything slower than what I was before the update. But in the wet, I'm miles off. Whereas before the update, we weren't that far off. Does the braking feel any better? That's what I mean, I think it might be quicker. I just can't really test because my banker lap was when free practice started. So maybe it is quicker. Yeah. Nice. Messed up there. That's our final lap as well. So maybe it was settings then. Ah, pain. Oh, nice. Well, we'll use those settings then. I didn't really improve anything there at all, but wait. At the end of quali, the Porsche and that. Oh no, sorry, ignore me. No. So free practice is everyone just finishing their laps now, then on to quali, so hopefully we find a little bit of pace in qualifying. Car not as fast as you hope. Yeah, I'm struggling for a bit of pace at the moment, I'll be perfectly honest. In the dry, I tried hot lapping this in the dry, and I was about 1.3 seconds off the world record in the Ferrari. And Nürburgring was the first time trying the Ferrari, or sorry, no, second time trying the Ferrari, and 1.3 off the world record, so I was quite happy with it. But I'm not very quick in the wet, it seems. But I looked at one of the quick Ferrari drivers' settings, and they're quite a bit different to ours, so I'm going to try those settings in qualifying and see what difference that makes, and hopefully that helps. Nice. So yeah, I'm hoping these settings work for qualifying, and we can find some pace. Because yeah, in the dry, pace is good, just in the wet, the pace seems quite a bit off, so.
Green light, go, go, go.
Do you have the quali medium wet setup? Quali medium wet setup, 16-17, that's the correct temp. That's the correct temp for these conditions. Just remember you'll need to put the brake bias and all that back to what it was in practice. Oh yeah, and TC's already on 5, so it's only the brake bias and engine map. Yeah, engine map 6. Yeah, because the top 3 Ferraris right now, 2 of them are using engine map 6. And they're all using fairly low ABS. So I think actually low ABS works better in the Ferrari than high ABS in the wet, which doesn't make any sense. But the braking is better with lower ABS. It's maybe because the driver's controlling the braking more instead of the car trying to not lock up. I don't, but it's weird. See if I can find any pace anyway. Also, I don't see Foch in the server. He was streaming. Was Boothby signed up? I thought it was Luke Whitehead. What's the other quick guy? Was Boothby signed up? Let's check. Luke isn't here, he was signed up. Foch signed up and he isn't here. But he is streaming and said that he was doing this race, so I don't know where he is. Foch was in the briefing but not in the server. That makes no sense. Yep.
Slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Does it feel slower or better than the previous one? I just spun waiting on formation lap. I was trying to heat up my tires and I just spun by myself. Yeah, I have the blue and red one. The guy didn't even overtake me, he let me take my qualifying spot, but that was oddly embarrassing. And overheat my tires. I was just trying to heat my tires whilst I waited and I managed to spin. First lap and perfect braking point for turn 1. I don't think I'll be able to replicate that on the next lap. And I mess up turn 3 braking point. Car feels good. Tire pressures are way too high though. Granted, I did just spin, so maybe that's why. For me, they're way too high. Car feels better than practice anyway. Maybe put them down by for the next run. At least 1.5 psi because they should be 30 psi and they're like 31. They should be 30.0 psi. That's the like ideal pressure for wet. Maybe it's been updated since the update to 30 to 31. Ah, before in 1.8 it was I always set for 30.0. Whoa. And I mess up turn 1. Yeah. First lap was rubbish, but I'm 6 cents up in the first sector, which is good. 2.5. But 6 cents up after the hairpin.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Oh, that was a rubbish sector there. Massive amount of time to find.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Yep. Painful.
Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
27th right now, but I'm 3 tenths up. Okay, 4/10.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front. Well done, mate. That was all best.
Okay,
Yellow flag in sector
let's
1.
get our first set of tyres on and change the pressures. Track is just improved to damp, so lap time should drop, and I've just put on a fresh set of tyres. Lowered the pressures massively by like 2 psi, 1.5 to 2 psi. I think most of the tyres were 1.7 psi down. I've just come out behind Vining, who's on a flying lap, and I'm like nearly touching his rear bumper. He's maybe on a slow lap, I don't know. But yeah, since we're on fresh wet tyres now, and it's just gone damp, we should hopefully improve quite a bit, in theory. Remember, you'll need to put the setups, I've just remembered, the setup stuff back to what they were, which I forgot to do. Thankfully I haven't started a lap. I've got P34 and then P14 right in front of me.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
So I need to slow down to create a gap so I can go for a push lap. Nice. Pain. Right, let's see if we can improve, guys. Conditions have just improved. First set of tyres, let's see what we can do. Got 2 laps left of qualifying. Far too early on the brakes to turn 1. Because the track conditions improved a bit, I don't need to brake quite so early. I'm still up on the delta despite pretty bad braking point. Okay, 2 tenths.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Oh, missed.
Your lap time is invalidated. Please try to
My
stay.
braking.
Yellow flag, be careful there.
So what time? Right, so final. Need it. I just binned the hairpin. So final lap to improve, and we really need to find some lap time. So we've got one final lap. Tire pressures are okay, but a little bit high. And we finally have no traffic. So let's see if we can improve. Okay. Shouldn't have any traffic. Final lap. Oh, that wasn't great. First sector was slow there. Rubbish. Oh, invalid. Pushing too hard. That was a disappointing qualifying. That is my worst qualifying in quite some time. That was disappointing. Quickest lap 58.9. In a Porsche and then a BMW. Quickest Ferrari 6/10 off. What brake bias is he using, I wonder? Save the replay and then report it. So the quickest just report it if he blocked you on your lap deliberately. Also the quickest Ferrari guys using ABS 1, engine map 6 and TC 7 and brake bias 50. I don't know. And then the second guy is using ABS 3, brake bias 53. I had the setup on brake bias 50% already, didn't I? So, with his, yeah, I wonder if we try the settings that the quickest guy's got, just to see what they're like. Yeah, I had no pace there. My pace in the wet since the update has been rubbish. Yeah. Right. So wet setup. Yeah. We've got 18-20 degrees, so I'm thinking we go the light wet setup V2. Because that's the closest temps. Or what temps did we just have? We had 17-17, didn't we? So we got the tire pressures okay for that, didn't we? Did you not adjust them? Okay, let me think. We could go the quali medium wet tire temps. Because I don't have a setup for that degree. That's what I mean. 1820. Yeah, let's use 1924, and then I think we lower the the tire temp by 5 clicks. Yeah. Lower all the tire temps by 5 clicks. And yeah. Then go to fuel and strategy and start with 40 litres. Add 30 litres. Yeah, it's only like 70, it's saying. Add 30 litres at the pit stop, or 35 at the pit stop. And then make sure it's wet tyres and press current pressures. Brake pads 2. And then try TC. Let's just try it. TC7, ABS 1, and engine map 6, because that's what the quickest guy was using, and hopefully that'll be good. I've gone. It was quite low fuel consumption, but I've put a bit extra just in case. Well, it's 2.6 a lap. I tested it and it was about 2.61. So it said it would be around 70 litres. So if we start with 40, add 35, that should be plenty. Just ignore that because we need to press drive. We've got 10 seconds. Alright. TC7, ABS 1, brake bias 50, and engine map 6. Let's just try that. I found ABS 1 almost better, to be honest, when I tried it earlier today. Just see what it's like. If it's not, then obviously put it up, but you see the pit line as soon as you come around the corner, but you have time to brake, if that makes sense. It's not right after the corner, but I would just look for the line. As soon as you come round the corner, look to see where the line is. But there isn't really any marker for the braking. You just have to make sure you get below 50 before the line. But I couldn't really see any actual markers for the braking. Oh, absolutely. I don't know. There's a mandatory refuel 25 seconds. So if the tire pressures are completely off, then we can pit and change them. Yeah, change the tire pressures. But if the tires are fine, we can always try and save 5 seconds in the pit stop and not change. But I'm not sure what the pace drop would be on wet tires. Before the update, you could do like, was it 2 hours on wet tires? Whereas I'm not sure after the update if the tyre wear has changed for the wets, but we'll see. My goal is just make up positions from the start, because that wasn't my worst qualifying in a while. Considering I finished the last season championship in P8, to start the first race of the new championship in P26 is not ideal. That's true. Yeah. Where did you actually qualify then? You just need to do what you did last season then.
Going double file.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. I'll tell you if anyone's dive bombing and you tell me if anyone's crashed in front. I genuinely think ABS 1 should be better. But let's see. Yeah, that would not be great. Right guys, let's see what we can do. Need a good start. Yeah.
Green light, show them where you go.
I was still turning for the final corner when we went green.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Crash already.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Yeah, I see it.
Car on the left.
Visibility 0. Oh, someone died on the outside.
All clear. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Oh. Yeah. Nice.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Around the outside of the Audi.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Oops. I just messed up in the hairpin and completely went into the side of the Ferrari. Locked up. I couldn't see my braking board. I have no idea what position I'm in right now.
Car on the left.
So we got a little bit of damage from the Ferrari. I completely messed up my braking. See if we can get this BMW possibly. Nope.
Car on the right. Clear on the
Someone
right.
died at the chicane. Someone died at the chicane. P22, end of lap 1.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
So much carnage, I need to get into a rhythm. Nice. We see I'm up to 16th. Got quite a few cars in front of us. Need to keep it smooth with it being wet. Definitely. I nearly spun. I tapped the curb on the entry to the hairpin. I only lost one, I think, with P23. Definitely. Now we need to get into a rhythm because that was quite a big mistake by me. It's close to spinning at that hairpin though. Let's try catch up now. I just got completely murdered and stalled. And I'm down a like
Yellow flag, be careful.
last place. I'm down to last.
Car ahead.
Yep. My tyres are done. I'm down to P36. My tyres are done and I've got 10 seconds of damage. Someone didn't brake for turn 1. Murdered me. And I then spun trying to get back on the track because my tyres were so wrecked that as soon as I put the throttle down it just instantly spun on me. And I'm now P36 with 10 seconds of damage. Oh, I've got 9 seconds of damage on the rear wing. It feels like my rear wing is falling off the car. Very little rear grip. Man, that was so annoying. I couldn't avoid him because I had no idea he was coming and then he was just in the rear of my car. So I'm going to try and make up some positions after that qualifying. Oh well, I definitely need to change tyres. My pressures are way too high. I mean, I'll try and make positions up, but I've got 10 seconds of damage, which is going to be quite difficult. Man, that's so annoying. Honestly, couldn't avoid it at all. Well, disappointed that I got completely murdered by that other Ferrari, but
Car on the left.
basically knocked down from 22nd to about 37th. So need to make up some positions, but with 10 seconds of damage and pretty hot tyres, it's going to be a bit challenging. But we basically got knocked down to second last place. So yeah, that's not ideal. I had a bad quali, very slow qualifying, but was starting to make up some positions at the start and was just trying to get into a rhythm to make up some more positions, but yeah, that is gonna make the race a bit of a challenge. Because there's no point repairing the 10 seconds of damage, I won't make 10 seconds back up. But oh, I'm struggling for tyres. Just overall for the car, got so much damage to the rear. Oh man, come on. Nice. I just nearly spun at the chicane again. I can't say I have any stability right now. It's very hard to drive. But that's purely because I've spun twice and I have 10 seconds of damage. So I have very little grip. So annoying, I was hoping to try and make up some positions in the race. Yeah, damage control as you see. But yeah, I'm currently P36, which is about as bad as it gets. At least 10 seconds off the pack. At least.
Yellow flag ahead.
Yeah, I'm not. Just aim for 30 psi at the pit stop. But I can't really take reference from my pressures because I've wrecked the tires. Come on guys, let's get these two Astons. You can already tell that black Aston's being very defensive.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
.203 was my last lap. Pin. Let's get past this Aston. Whoa!
Clear on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh, I did not expect him to be that early. Oh man, I just went straight into the back of the Aston. He braked super early. I feel bad for that. That was completely my bad. This is a race to forget. I do not know what to say at the moment, guys. This has not been a good start. Track is now damp, so tyre pressures will skyrocket. We'll need to see if we can make up any positions at all, but struggling with the car at the moment. Miles off the pace we should be. Should be at least, with only 20 litres of fuel in the car, we should be doing at least I don't know, at least 201s at least, but Just got... Whoa, I've got no grip at all. We're so low down, it's almost not worth finishing the race. I don't think it's really going to be possible to gain any positions. I do apologise guys, though this was supposed to be quite a good one because it's a new car, a new championship and that, but not off to a great start at the moment.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
You survive?
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out. Slow car ahead.
Feels awful for me at the moment. Can't really describe it, but it's like driving on ice. Just the rear sliding everywhere. Can't believe I got that hit though. Straight in the rear. It was like, it felt like he didn't brake. He obviously must have braked and just locked up, but he came from 3 positions back, so I had no idea he was coming. Yeah, I have to change these tires. I need to put lower pressures on now, stamp. Well, it doesn't look like I'm going to have enough fuel. I think the fuel calculation is wrong. Yeah, I put it in the fuel map thing and it said... Well, the fuel was... But I think the fuel consumption was higher than what it was when I calculated it. I'm sure I calculated it at 2.61. Although 6 laps would be about 12 minutes, wouldn't it? Which would put us about halfway through the race. So maybe the fuel's fine. It just doesn't look like it's fine, if that makes sense. It doesn't seem like such a low fuel can get you so far. I think 45 litres at the pit stop would probably be enough. If this gets us halfway through the race. Yeah, just go like 45, 47, maybe just go 47 to be safe. I don't actually know if there's any point in me finishing this race at this moment. I'm losing time every lap. I think I have to repair damage, but it's going to cost me a lot of time. My pit stop's going to be like 43 seconds. That's maybe what I'll do. I'll pit early and change tires and add fuel. Nice.
Falling behind the
Yeah.
Make me noise up.
I'm just pitting now, repairing damage, decreasing all tire pressures by 1.2. Man, what a disappointing start to the championship. At least there's a drop round this championship, so your worst result doesn't count, but I can't say that I'm not absolutely gutted with that. Starting to make up some positions as well before I got taken out. I was right behind that pack that you were at the front of, so I was hoping to get through. Nice.
Mandatory stop is not clear. Let's go, 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 go.
Okay, 37 seconds. I've got all their pit stops. See where I come out. Oh, the car feels so good. No damage.
Yellow flag, be careful.
And fresh tires.
There's a slow car up ahead.
It feels incredible. Now we'll go sit fastest lap of this. I wouldn't be surprised if I beat what I was doing earlier by like 2 seconds, because I was doing 203s. And I think I was doing 201s in practice with this condition.
Fast car is approaching.
There's like 4 cars battling just up here in front of you. You've got a chance at top like 7 or something. Well, they're battling really hard. Yeah. I dropped all my tire pressures by 1.2 psi. What's depressing is I'm keeping up with the guy in P9. Alright, nice. I'm keeping up with P9, but I'm last right now. It's mildly depressing. Hopefully you're in with a better bunch of tires now. Yeah, hopefully we don't get taken out again. I was slowing down to let him through. I misjudged that. That was my bad. I backed out on the exit to let him pass because I was slow on the entry, and don't think he expected me to go slow there. That was my bad. 3/10 of damage. I've got 2 others battling. I'm just going to let them through. Don't want to hold that. Copy. Yeah, we all get bad races. Just disappointing. So unlucky. Just wasn't really anything we could do to avoid it. Car feels good now the damage is repaired. I don't know if we'll make up positions, but we'll stay in the race. Just don't really want to get in the way of any of these guys whilst they're battling, like I did with that Mercedes, because that was my bad. Nice. That Mercedes is not going to be happy with me because I backed off, but I was just trying to let him through, but I misjudged it. I thought I had pulled it to the side enough, but I was obviously still on the racing line just a bit. I only got 3/10 of damage, so it won't really affect me, but he might not be pleased. Car feels really, really nice now though, which is a bonus. Lap time's going to be quite slow this lap because we let those 2 guys in front of us ahead. But considering we're on heavy fuel now, the pace isn't too bad. Because we're now on quite heavy fuel. Did you add fuel? Yeah. Good. It's so annoying that I'm keeping up with them on low fuel and I'm on like 53 litres now. They're probably all down to like 10 litres by now because we're halfway and I'm on 53 and I'm keeping up with P11. So pace would have been good had I not had such a bad quality and start. Nice. I think the wet tyre pressures are still 30 psi. That's what I've been using at the moment, aiming for 30 psi. I think now though, after the update, there's a bit of a bigger window, especially with the dry tyres. So if you want the tyre walls to be a bit stiffer, then you can increase the tyre pressures, so you've got more tyre stability in the high speed corners. Whereas if you want more tyre flex in the low speed corners, then you want to reduce the tyre pressures. Yeah. Although the PS5, I wonder when PS5 will get 1.9, because console usually takes a while to come out with the new update stuff. Hopefully it's not too long for the console players to get it. Yeah, it's weird in the Ferrari. Usually you would run the TC as low as possible, because otherwise it like cuts your throttle on the exit, whereas with the Ferrari I'm finding it's almost like you need to have it high so you can put the throttle down. you don't want to short shift in the Ferrari, you want to have a high TC, slam the throttle down and rev it out in first gear. Whereas the Porsche, you short shifted and ran a lower TC, so it's just a difference with the Ferrari that we need to learn. Which I'll remember for future setups, is to, instead of short shifting or anything, we want to have a high enough TC that allows us to rev it in first gear. Basically needs to use maximum RPM. Probably end of year. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's end of this year or start of next year. Because remember when 1.8 came to console, it then wrecked console. So they might take a little bit longer this time and make sure they actually get the launch right. So did you gain some positions in the pit stop, Luciano? Copy. My rear left tire is red. It's probably because it's damp and not actually wet. I'm just gonna focus and try and improve lap times. I can't really focus on gaining any positions because they're too far ahead. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, my rears are way too high as well. The track is drying really quickly. Yet it's not, the rain isn't decreasing that much. I was expecting medium or light rain. This is very, very light. I'm trying to drive offline to cool them down, but there isn't really any standing water offline. It's actually driving offline isn't really helping. At all, to be honest. Okay, so I'm currently P32, so maybe some people quit or had bad pit stops. And someone got a penalty as well. But I'm 9.2 seconds off the next car, which is quite a margin.
Yellow flag ahead, watch out. Slow car ahead.
I take that back, I just got a free position, he died. So P32. So my goal went from a top 15 to top 10 to now a top 30. That's my goal for this race. Currently P32. 8.6 seconds. 8.6 seconds away from P6. That's just P31. That's just depressing. And he's 12.6 seconds away from P30. So P31 might be all that I can close into. Probably some people stole the pit. Nice. Well, at least Luciano's having a good race. He's up to P13, which is good. So at least one of us is getting some good points. I think Luciano started P19. So he's made up 6 positions so far, which is really good. I think he said he made up 2 positions over the pit stop. He had a really good pit stop. Some people repaired damage. So he had a good pit stop, so he gained like 2 positions from that, and he's made a few overtakes as well, so good amount of positions gained for Luciano. Nice. Is there still like a group of cars up in front of you? Or are they kind of broken up now? Awesome. That's Luciano up to P10. Another overtake. Nice. Someone just went off Luciano said, so he's up to P9. Also guys, there is an official stream if you want to see. I'm not sure if Luciano's on the official stream just now, but he might be on it. And they might show some of the battles Luciano's having. But the official stream will be on the Simzone channel on YouTube. I think it'll be on their YouTube channel. If you guys want to see the official stream. Same as last season, I think. My left rear tyre is very, very hot. Oh, a bit of a slide. Did you have Moza yesterday or? Oh, right. How much is the Moza one? Really? I would have thought since the Moza one has a smaller prize it would be cheaper to enter than the track day one. Alright. That's interesting. To be fair, they do have like 5 championships this season. So it's kind of expected that at least one of them would be fairly low on sign-ups. Luciano up to P8, let's go. I'm now 4.4 seconds from P31. Like 202s right now, kind of struggling for tyres. P31 was reversing on turn 2. So I came round the corner and he was facing me, which was a bit worrying. I couldn't tell if it was the front or the rear of his car, and was confused why I was going so slow, and then I realised he was facing me, so that was, I was really quite confused there, but we're at P31 now. A very confused P31. I was genuinely confused if that was the front or rear of his car there. Slick tyres optimum, just as the pit window ends. I wonder if anyone risked it for the dry tyres. Oh wow, yeah, if you stayed on the original dry tyre set, your pressures will be worse. But yeah, basically the dry tyres are optimum now because the track is so dry. Yeah, Misano, I risked it, went for the dry tyres, it didn't work because it never dried, and now this one is drying too quick. This is basically what I needed to happen at Misano last season, but it never did. To be fair, Misano, me driving on dry tyres in the wet, I was still a higher position than I am now. Tyre pressures aren't skyrocketing, but the track is very dry and the tyres are definitely hot. I'm losing a lap time, I would say, but the grip isn't too bad. Nice. Yeah, I'm getting another warning saying slick tyres optimum. Okay, so I think the delta's broken because it says I'm 43 seconds away from P31. And now I'm 16.5 seconds. Well, we're P30, so I think someone retired because we were P31. Either that or someone pitted and I didn't see that they had pitted. Keeps warning us that slick tyres are optimum, but the pit window is finished, so we have no choice but to stay on the dry tyre, on the wet tyres. Remember now that it's a lot drier, you could also change the brake bias if you want to increase it or that. Just do what you feel comfortable with. "15 minutes to go." Did someone spin? They did. Traction Dave. Oh, he's in the pit lane. Just got a free position. Up to P29. And 13 seconds away from P28. Well, we are gaining on P28, which is good. But still 12 seconds behind him. Oh, ho, ho. No grip, no grip. There goes some time that we had gained on him. I think what that was is because the track is so dry now, since the wet tyres are way too hot, I think that was just the wets, the rear tyres just having no grip because they're so hot. Because in the wet conditions, the way I took that would usually be absolutely fine, but I had no grip in the rears there. So that's probably all that happened there, because we don't really have any damage, but we did lose a good chunk of time to the BMW. Did we gain anything on the BMW that sector? We've only got 11 minutes to go, so I'd be very surprised if we catch him before the end. We are definitely gaining on him though. I'm very surprised the tyres haven't blown up. I was expecting them to just start ballooning when it said slick tyres optimum. Yeah, I've nearly spun multiple times. Yeah, I did that in the hairpin on like lap 2. It was like lap 2 and I nearly died. Oh, 11 minutes to go. See what you can do, mate. Yeah, they'll probably start fighting so close to the end. I'll let you focus. Let me know how you get on. Luciano says that he's just caught catching the pack. I think he said he's in P7 and he's got like, or P8, and he's got like P7 to P4 right in front of him, so he's, I think he said it was about 2 to 4 second gap between the pack that's in front of him, and if he catches that pack then he's got a chance at top 5, which after starting P19 would be very nice. Nice. We're still gaining on this BMW. We've only got 9 minutes to go, so unless he spins, we won't catch him before the end. Yeah, it's still gaining. Nice.
Gaining on the car ahead in sector 2.
My rear tires are bright red. Yeah, it's not like the wear or the pressure's that bad. They're just hot. So the pressure's fine. They're a little bit high on the pressure, but it's the temperature that's way too hot. That's first and second just passing us. I'm just letting P1 and P2 through. Just coming into the left-hander in sector, near the end of sector 1. They're just on the straight before the hairpin now. So last season I finished P8 in the championship, and the last race in the wet in this championship last season, I was close. I was running the podium spots, and then new season, and I get lapped. So hopefully round 2 is better, but it's a new track. It's Valencia, so round 2 will be interesting.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Nice. Tire pressures are starting to come down a bit, which is good. No worries. Oh yeah, I see you're P8 and you're like P7, P6, you're like a half second separating you two. Luciano's P8, but he's got a few cars all bunched up right in front of him, so hopefully he can make up some positions. Oh man, Cody. Come on. Well, Luciano up to P7 now, which is good. We closing up in front of him. We lost a lot of time from that like half spin I just did there. Oh man, lost like 6 seconds. I tried to save it by going wide because I knew I was wide. So I tried to just brake in a straight line and go wide, and instead made it worse and spun. Two more laps, yeah. Yeah. Nice. Keep it together. Luciano up to P6. Okay, coming on to the final lap. Pace is absolutely rubbish at the moment.
Right, man, leader's on the final lap. Give it all you can. Car on the right. Faster car coming down behind you. Clear on the right.
No. thought I could hold it around the outside. Oh, final lap and the Porsche makes a big mistake. Free position, and someone's just pitted up in front of us on the final lap. They maybe miscalculated their fuel. Oh, I've messed up. Sorry to that P3 Ferrari. I just messed up my braking there.
Alright, mate, race is over. Good job. You did the best you could. Take it easy. Level out.
Oh, my stomach is quite a bit of pain. Oh wow, Luciano, you've missed P5 by 2/10. That's so close. Well, you going from P19 to P6 and nearly P5 is quite impressive. And I just want to see my replay, because that was I just had no pace after that crash. But yeah, I need to see the replay. Yeah, Luciano did so well. He always has very good pace in the wet. Especially last season, we both had quite good pace in the wet. But Luciano, his best results are usually in the damp conditions or like light wet. He always does really well in those conditions. But yeah, he went from P19 to P6, so he had a lot of pace. Yeah. Yeah, someone in my stream as well saying that the last 6 minutes of the live stream in Simzone, you were in it, most of it, because there was quite a few battles with you guys. Oh, that's the server ended, so we'll need to go into the replay option. But yeah, that was at least there's a drop round, so it doesn't count the worst result, but that was a bit annoying for us. But Luciano did really well. Yeah, no Hondas. Mercedes are really good now though. Yeah. Depends what track, but it is quite good on a lot of the tracks now because it's been completely reworked. He was the top riser for the day. Well, yeah, he made up massive amounts of positions and his pace is always really good in the wet. Just didn't have a great qualifying. If he had had a better qualifying, he probably would have got quite. He probably would have been at least top 5, maybe. He probably would have been a podium, to be honest, if he had gotten a good qualifying, because he started in P19 and he finished in P6. So he probably would have gotten a podium, I think, if he'd got a really good quali. But we both just didn't really have a good qualifying. But yeah, potential P4 there after starting P19. I think he would have most likely been on the podium. But yeah, he also... See, turn 1 wasn't too bad for us. It was just quite hard visibility-wise because I couldn't see anything. But I think Luciano got a bump on turn 1. Because he was also on the outside. What happened here? So this all looks fine. Oh! What was that Ferrari doing? Look at this Ferrari. He just goes sideways into Luciano. Oh, did he get punted or did he mess it up? Oh, he brakes. He brakes diagonally into the side. Look, he's moving over in the braking zone into the path of the Aston and then punts Luciano. And then punts that Ferrari as well. So actually pretty messy turn 1 for him, to be honest. That was quite messy. But let's have a look at what happened to us and then we will see. Was it lap 2? Oh sorry, it must have been lap 3. Ah yes. Start of lap 3. So I basically had no idea this was about to happen. And then trying to get back on the track, I spun. So that was embarrassing, spinning. But, I mean, there was no way I could avoid that. I was already turning in for the apex. And I was also, to be honest, I wasn't even looking really in my rear view mirror. Because this Ferrari in front of me, you see, outbrakes himself. So I was actually focusing on this Ferrari. And at the last second, I see the Ferrari just punt me. But yeah, let's look at the Ferrari. Look how far back he is. No, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, he's still like 9/10 a second away. Let's just look how far back he was. Oh, I mean... He can't use the excuse of visibility because you can quite clearly see the braking boards. I don't really have words for that. I mean... That's the braking... Your, like, latest braking point in the Ferrari at a low brake bias. He's not even... Actually, I'm not sure if that shows his brake bias. That maybe is just default. But still, he would be braking out around the 100 meter board and he brakes after it. So just brakes way too late. I mean... Why did he go to the left? Why not? If he had went for the right, you could have avoided that. As soon as he saw that he wasn't going to brake, if he just accelerated and went right, he would have at least avoided us. He would have went miles wide. But you know, if he had just aimed for here, then at least I could have tried to avoid him. But it's like it's almost like he's deliberately done that. I mean, I can't jump to any conclusions, but the fact he outbrakes himself so much, and instead of trying to avoid it, see this last little jink or jerk to the left of the steering towards us, whereas he could have gone right to avoid us. Yeah, that kind of feels deliberate, to be honest. And does he just rejoin into this Aston as well? Or does the Aston go into him? Oh, he takes out the Aston. We'll definitely report that. But he outbraked himself, yes, and he locks up. But here, I feel he could have avoided that by going to the right. But the fact he turns left and aims for us is a bit... I'm not sure about that one. The only thing I want to check is if he was the guy that I messed up and hit the side of. Because I did outbrake myself and hit the side of one Ferrari as a genuine mistake, and the only thing I can think of is that that was the same Ferrari and that was a retaliation. I hope it's not, but here I outbrake myself, as you see, nearly lose control of the car, and I give the Ferrari a slight tap. And it is the same Ferrari. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but to me, I wonder if that was retaliation for my mistake. Because here, right, I make a genuine mistake here. I come into the braking, and I'm right behind the Ferrari, and when you pause it, you actually get really good visibility, actually. But when we were actually racing, I couldn't really see my braking board, and I braked too late, as you can see. I quite clearly braked too late. He braked early, and I braked slightly too late. So it was a combination of him braking slightly early, because he's got people right in front of him. Although he has actually a fair gap. And I braked slightly late, because I didn't expect him to be early. So it was a combination, but then I go to avoid him and nearly spin. As you see, watch my steering inputs. I nearly spin trying to avoid him. And yes, I clip him, but I was just trying not to spin, in all honesty. So, I could be wrong, but the fact that he turns and aims for us, I think that was deliberate. I think that was deliberate. So, yeah. I will most definitely report that. Yeah, not really sure what to say on that one. I mean, if it was a genuine mistake, then that's fine. It completely destroyed our race. But okay. But that one, it looks like a deliberate retaliation for us making a mistake. So yeah. that will most definitely be reported to the stewards. But yeah, I think that'll finish up the stream today. And next stream will be on Monday next week, most likely, for the next round of the PLR. So, as always, guys, thank you for watching the stream. I do apologise for today not being a great race, but not much we could do. I made a genuine mistake on the first lap in the wet conditions. I braked myself. I tried to avoid the Ferrari. That was a genuine mistake from me. Then I think that was a deliberate retaliation from the Ferrari, so I couldn't avoid that. He was quite clearly aimed for us. But yeah, hopefully we can have some better races next week. We've got Monday PLR round 6. Next round of Simzone on Friday, and then the next round of RCI on Saturday next week as well. So that will hopefully be a bit better. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and see you again next time.